Hey boys and girls, Brucey here with another guitar creativity video, and today we're going to look at 8 ways that rhythm guitar playing will make you a better lead guitarist. Yes, it's a fact. It took me years and years and years to appreciate this, but actually by playing better rhythm makes you a better lead player, or at least it made me a better lead player. And the thing that resonates in my head was through one of my guitar teachers at Berkeley, who just said, basically, he said it quite bluntly, what do you do in a gig, in situation? What do you spend most of your time doing? What do you spend 95% plus of your time doing? It's like, oh yeah, playing rhythm guitar. It's like, yes, becoming a good rhythm guitar player is crucial. And I know it's taken me years. I spent all my years practicing lead and playing lead and really kind of ignoring my rhythm, and then had to do a lot of backtracking. And I realized that by playing more rhythm, my lead became better and more in tune with my playing. So what are the 8 ways? Number 1, timing. Yes, by playing rhythm guitar in a band context, even along with your favorite tunes or to a backing track, can really help you tighten up. I did another little video called "If you can't hear it, you can't play it," and this was really along these lines as well. I know a lot of time it's easy to just kind of try and get wailing away and playing things, but really struggling with what the rhythmic elements are. If you're playing rhythm guitar, you're kind of focusing in on playing 8/, 16ths, these kind of rhythms, and you can start to hear them in your head, like. That can help you with your guitar playing. Go. And then you go up to 16th note because you can start to hear them now. You're hearing them, so you can play them rather than just kind of going with no kind of idea. Practicing your rhythm, practicing your timing will really help you become a lead guitarist and get those lines, sequences played in time and played more effectively. Number 2, chord knowledge. Yes, by playing rhythm guitar, you will start to learn more chords or chords ideas. Again, perhaps depending on what style you're playing, but I've done some other lessons on chord voicings and changing chord voicing, so it doesn't matter if you're playing rock or metal. Trying to figure out new and interesting chord voicings will really set you apart from other guitar players who are just playing bar chords. And that could even be in a punk context, if that's what you want to do, but even just playing it an octave higher. Playing an octave variation can give you some variation on what you're playing and how you fit in with a band, and give you a whole band to do different style. So coming up with improving your chord knowledge will really help your rhythm playing. It will almost be a byproduct of your improving your rhythm playing. You'll start to learn new and interesting voices that you start to like. So how will that help your lead playing? Well, having a wide chord knowledge gives you an access to a lot more arpeggios, which are basically parts of the chords which form part of the underlying harmony. So if you're playing these notes, they are chord tones, so you're not going to go wrong by playing them, and you can get some just from a simple chord voicing. So improving your knowledge of chords gives you an access to a wider range of arpeggios. Therefore, you've got more things that you can put in your tool bag as a way of improving your lead playing. I'll do another video on this, specifically looking at chords and voicings of chords, and therefore arpeggios, and therefore ways of improving on your lead playing, or at least different ideas rather than just playing up and down the pentatonic scale. You can play the, just even knowing that A minor 7 shape, or the A minor 7. That's a chord shape there that you might not know. Gives you another line that you can play just based on a chord shape. Number 3, finger independence. This kind of follows on from the previous one, and what happens here is if you're learning lots and lots of new and perhaps difficult chord shapes. You know, you may have been practicing lead for a long time, playing just single line ideas, and you kind of know lots of chords, maybe know your cage position chords, but you don't really go beyond that. If you start to learn some more flavors and extensions of chords, you start to put your hands into newer positions. This is C minor. Your hands are starting to move between different positions on the neck and different fingerings, and this is another, I think, quite valid way of improving your finger independence, and therefore once you've got improved finger independence, it's going to make your lead playing, your fingers work better, make your lead playing a little bit easier, and you're going to come up with new ideas just because your fingers are now used to going into different positions. I'm not poo-pooing, you know, we all spend hours and hours doing the normal finger end, you know, maybe the spider exercise and all the variations. You know, those are great exercises for your finger independence, there's no denying that. But playing chord shapes is just another tool you can use, finding exciting variations that you can't play. It might take you a while to play that chord, but it's working your fingers at the same time, and anything that's working your fingers can give you, like I said in the previous one, different an arpeggio to play a lead over, but also it's kind of helping give you work your fingers. So there you go. Number 4, fretboard knowledge. By playing more rhythm guitar, by playing different styles of rhythm guitar, or at least moving your chord voicings around, learning how to play different chord voicings. So, you know, maybe you're stuck playing cable chords. If you start to learn where the different C's are. That's the cage system there. There's thousands of lessons online about that. But this is helping you when you start learning these chords to think about where roots are. So finding your roots is a really good way of navigating around the fretboard, and thinking about the root either in terms of its name or its interval. So that's a second interval. Jumping down to its octave position, you've got the same position. So if you start to know what the note names are, that's a C and a D. You know that there. You've got C and a D. C and a D again. Very easily moving around the fretboard. So learning chords in different positions, thinking about where the notes are and what chords they are, is going to open up the fretboard to you, and also again help with your soloing, because you're going to know what notes you're playing. You know, you're not going to be confined to one area of the fretboard, because you might know that that's A pentatonic. You know the songs in A. You're going to be brave. I can know there's an A there. Where's my snare? I can jump around the fretboard with ease, because I've learnt that based on chord shapes. And again, coming out of rhythm playing and variations in rhythm playing. Number 5, ear training. Ear training is crucial to all levels of guitar playing. There's no denying that. I really am an advocate of this. I'm a late comer. My ears wasn't as developed as I hoped it was, and it's something that I work on, and it does require a lot of work. But by playing rhythm and by playing chords and by hearing chord progressions, really opens up your ear, because ultimately there aren't, for certain styles, there aren't lots and lots of different chord progressions. You start to hear them all the time, and when you can start hearing those chord progressions, you can start hearing the intervals, which is really good. That's a great start to working on it. And when you start hearing intervals, this again informs your lead playing, because you can think about breaking away from patterns to thinking something like that. You know, you could just make something up, start to hear where you want your lead lines to go. You can hear the underlying harmony, and by learning lots of chords and learning how these chords function and the underlying harmony, you can start to hear how your intervals work against those chords. So if you're playing an A minor and you play this note, which is the B, the second of the A minor scale, you can start to hear by practicing a rhythm and hearing the harmony there, and hearing what that chord's made up of how the note you're going to play sounds against it, and whether you prefer using that note or using the third maybe. So this is a great added bonus of ear training, learning your chord progressions. Hearing single tones is a great way of doing it, and I totally advocate that. Sitting down with your intervals, hearing the intervals. I've done another exercise on this where you can assign visual or auditory cues to the intervals you're hearing, but you obviously at some point need to progress the chords. And again, hearing chord progressions will help you, and then trying to transcribe the chord itself is a great skill. And you're kind of thinking, you know, single note ear training is a kind of linear process, where chord ear training, particularly finding out chord, is a more horizontal process, vertical process. You're hearing stacks of notes rather than single notes. Both of them are valid, and both of them are very important things to do. Number 6, the ability to play lead stuff for friends. There is, you know, if we practice lead quite a lot, our friends go, "Can you play us something?" And you're like, and they're like, "Play us a song." And you're like, I don't really know many songs because all I do is practice lead. So playing rhythm guitar helps you have stuff to play for your friends. And not only that, if you invest maybe in a looper pedal or a looper application on your phone, becoming a better rhythm player, being tight on your rhythm chops, you know, you can lay down a really cool chord progression for them. For example, and then you can solo to your heart's content, and that's going to give them something to latch onto, and it's going to make them more impressed with your lead playing rather than just playing it with no context, no rhythm behind it. So again, practicing your rhythm, being a better rhythm player, you can start to lay down tracks in a context, but also you can also play songs. If you play loads of rhythm, you can play lots and lots of songs to impress your friends, which is a good thing. It also helps build your confidence as well, I should have added. You know, if you play in front of your friends and you're playing lead and they're kind of like looking at you going, "What are you doing? I don't, you know, this is just a string of notes and it's, you know, you're playing fast, but it's, I don't really know what it is." You start playing rhythm, you start to build confidence, your friends appreciate you, you can go out on stage, it's really good. So another byproduct of being a better rhythm guitarist. Number 7, rhythm guitar playing gives you more dynamic ideas for your solos. From that, you've got kind of rhythmic ideas that you can start to put into your single note playing. You know, you can think of him. That kind of has come out of just playing lots of funky stuff like that. That. This is just constant 16th, which you've been working on because you've been playing in a band and you've been playing kind of funk for 2 hours, and you've got your... You can start to apply those rhythms that you've been playing, or even like you think maybe... really helping working your picking hand. It's really giving you dynamic ideas for your solo, and you can also kind of crib rhythmic ideas from songs. Let's say you like the kind of, that's the rhythmic idea. You can start taking the rhythmic underlying idea of the song and putting it into a lead context. So again, it's a double benefit of being a better rhythm guitar player. You can steal ideas from rhythms, you can apply those rhythms to your solos. You could even like... So that's the rhythm. You're kind of doing that, you can double it. double it up, for example. Dynamic ideas for soloing come straight out of better rhythm playing. Number 8, fusing rhythm and lead. Now, you know, a lot of people idolize Hendrix, and for good reason. He was the king of basically being an awesome rhythm guitar player, and Stevie Ray Vaughan applies to this, you know, even a lot of Steve Vai stuff here has a lot of rhythmic ideas in it, but it's fusing rhythm. So you're playing lead and rhythm at the guitar at the same time. So learning a lot of these classic pieces, maybe by Hendrix, or like I said, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or even looking at something like Tender Surrender by Steve Vai, or Sisters. It's fusing both these rhythmic styles, a complete rhythm piece, taking the rhythm and fusing it together with a lead idea and having the best of both worlds there. Wow, that was a bit of a tongue twister to try and get out. I hope you found this video useful. I'm going to sign off there, and enjoy. Comments in the section below.